Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Slice of Gaming podcast for June 27, 2025. I am your host, the Uncharted Wolf, and I am joined today by two very special guests. First and foremost, I got my man Moon. How you doing, Moon?
That's a nice, not hot Friday. I know everyone's been complaining about the weather recently, but not here, surprisingly.
In California, really? I
Like
forget. Are you
it's not like it's cool or anything, but it's definitely not as hot as it usually is, which is weird.
I forget. Are you SoCal or North Cal?
SoCal, yeah.
Okay, SoCal. Well, that's weird. I feel like that's where most of the heat.
It
I
usually
guess
is,
the heat
especially
wave
around this
hasn't.
time.
I guess the heat wave hasn't hit y'all yet because I
No,
think it's
it'll
from
be in
the.
July. It'll be in August. I'm just enjoying
Yeah.
this time of everyone complaining. It's so hot, and I'm just like, it's a decently comfortable, like low 80s.
Yeah, dude. No, Texas right now has been a fucking nightmare. Also joining us today is Beef Hammer, who also hopefully isn't dealing with the heat wave. I don't know
No,
if
Midwest
Ohio dealt
Midwest
with it.
is getting hit pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
It's calmed down a little bit, but yeah, it's like 90 today, so good reason to stay inside, just play some games, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Play some games, talk about games. How are you doing, Beef? I feel like it's been a while since we got you on the
I
pod.
know it's been a while. And then that time I've definitely fallen behind on the upcoming releases, but I've been working on I'm playing a lot, so we'll talk
That's
about
sick.
it.
You've been on that GameFly grind I've seen.
Yeah, so I'm picking up some old year stuff, but I did finally get Pirate Yakuza done this year, which I know I was pretty anticipated for, and that was still enjoyable. So I'm glad I did eventually get to play that before year's end.
I want to hear your thoughts on that later when we get to what we've been playing, but before we get into that, we have a very special show today. Not too much on the news side, but we're going to do our most anticipated games for quarter 3 of 2025. We do this every 3 months, basically looking ahead at the next quarter of gaming, see what games we're excited for, which games we're not excited for, all that kind of good stuff. But before that, we have the news to get over. And before even that, we got to do some housekeeping. If you guys want to find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, every other podcast platform, we're on it. Like the podcast and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. Let's get right into the news. Now, the Summer of Gaming E3 Fest did end, but there were 2 more competitors who wanted to throw their hats in the ring, both on the same day. Capcom and Arc System Works. Now, Moon, I know you and me watched these. Did you watch it, Beef?
I did not get to watch them. No, I do know, but I know the announcements from Capcom, so I'm still talk about them.
I wouldn't say get to watch them. More like, I think you actually worked out for you. I feel okay. So I'll start real quick with Capcom. I feel like we kind of knew what to expect here, Moon. It's Capcom's always kind of been like, hey, here's some updates, whatever, bye bye.
Yeah, which is both like disappointing because they have stuff they could have shown, but then they just didn't.
Yeah, just very little. I think they showed like a little bit of Pragmata in the beginning. Barely any new footage, sadly. They did explain the gameplay, but also it's like all the previews explained exactly what they said at that showcase. So it was like, okay, well, you guys are not giving any real new information here.
It's like for the 5 people who didn't look into the game after Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
Like here's your extra look into it. It's like, oh, okay, well, everyone who actually has been paying attention has just more of what we already knew.
And then Resident Evil Requiem had a little bit of screen time, but it was mostly just to say one interesting thing is they said like, oh, Leon is we originally wanted Leon to be the protagonist, but decided against it. And Dusk Golem on Twitter immediately was like, they're just misleading. Like Leon is 1000% a protagonist in this game. And I was actually listening to the interview a bit more, and interestingly, like they were kind of talking as like, oh, it wouldn't make sense for him to do the horror stuff. But Resident Evil is also an action franchise, so I'm kind of tempted. My like assumption and theory is that like Grace, the new protagonist, does a lot of the RE7, RE8 style like survival horror, like really creepy vibes. And then Leon is the more Resident Evil 4 style, like just kicking ass shooting guys. Which also, this is 30 years after, so Leon will be 50 in this game. Which is hey, you know what? If I hope he looks good for 50. I believe he will.
Still kicking ass.
Yeah, no, he's crazy, man. Leon is a crazy guy. And then from there was Street Fighter updates, basically just showing off Sagat. And also the summer outfits, which, dear lord, some of these outfits are crazy.
I did see those. I was like, Yeah, they absolutely are insane. I can't believe those are official.
They
But
finally understand what the audience has been asking for.
exactly, yeah.
They, I think they've known it a while that the audience is just horny. Like they put Cammy in, they know what they're doing.
Dude, Cammy's new outfit is psychotic. That's the one where I'm like, man, maybe I gotta pick up this game. Okay. I will say I am very happy that they're actually doing costumes because normally they would do those. You guys remember the Create a Player they had for Street
Mhm.
Fighter 6, and that's how they would get like, oh, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab, and it's just your creative fighter, which nobody cares about that. I'm glad they're actually like learning. And it's like, no, actually, we're gonna do outfits for the cast now. And then finally they showed a lot of Monster Hunter. I have nothing to add because I don't play Monster Hunter, so I know apparently it's cool. I don't know.
Not many of us do. I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Like at least not regularly. Like they played it for the few people that did play it in our Discord played it for like a week or two, and
Yeah.
then they were like, okay, that was fun.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Bot and Bench were kept planning to play it together, and they never did. That's solely on Bench. I fully. I trust Bop in saying that Bench was the one who never wanted to play. So yeah, Capcom, like always, it's just a bunch of updates on stuff. There was stuff in between, like updates for what was that game? Kunitsugami, and now a weird thing about like, hey guys, Onimusha 2 is still out. It's like, yeah, okay, thanks Capcom, I guess. But overall, just a whatever showcase. I don't think you missed much beef.
it's kind of weird that even happened like right after, yeah, like you said, like E3 week, they just decided to still do this, and like even though they
Yeah.
just announced or re-announced Pragmata in RE9, so yeah, I think that's why I was like almost wasn't even on my radar.
And yet somehow an even worse showcase happened immediately after the Arc Systems Works showcase. Did you catch any of this at all, Beef?
I did read up the description, like Hood, they basically ignored what everyone wanted to see, and
It is
I need to hear
very
about this
funny.
last game though. I kind of heard about it, but I haven't seen it. But I heard the last game was like the weird thing.
Use the link and just like
Okay, I gotta see this.
listen, just watch the end. It is the funniest thing because it's, you should know, there was like 4 minutes of or 3 minutes of preamble from Daisuke, who usually directs like the big fighting games at Arc System Works, and then he was like, we want to show you this mid-range title, and what he showed was definitely mid. I'll give him that. Yeah, I mean, but we watched this and it was a pretty bad showcase. Just a bunch of nothing burgers.
Like that just reminding us of Absalom, which was a nice like, oh yeah, this game exists. I forgot to
Yeah.
add that to my list, but yeah, that's not even something that they're directly working on. It's just helping getting that game published in Asian markets. That's all they're doing.
Hmm. Yeah, it was just a bunch of the Dear Me I Was game, which was I'm sorry, just not my genre. I can't really say anything about it. I think it's cool that they're using rotoscope technology, but other than that, it's like there's not much I can really add there. And I was excited because it was like, oh, Arc Systems Work is working on a Switch exclusive game. And it was like, oh, okay, maybe like a Fire Emblem fighting game, or something like relating to Nintendo characters and fighting. Like that'd be fun. And then they showed that. I was like, okay, well, never mind. And then they
I mean,
showed
anyone who
more.
went in with those kind of expectations was sending them suffer disappointment. Like they're not going to show any licensed
Oh yeah.
IP game with that in that kind of showcase.
I'm more so looking back. I don't know if you remember, there was a leak that Arc Systems Work was working on a Switch 2 exclusive game, and like this was it. I think a lot of people were expecting like an actual like licensed fighting game, and then they revealed it here, and it's like, oh no, it's just a tiny like little narrative adventure game. And then from there they showed like Double Dragon, which still looks like dog shit. I hate looking at it so much. And then Bubble Bobble, which I
Yeah,
swear to God, Moon, that presentation pissed me off. They talked to me like I was 6.
Yeah, it's like you do realize the majority of people who are tuning in for an Arc System Direct are a bunch of like adults who are
Like
looking forward to
20,
like
30
fighting
year
games and
olds.
other things. This is not the audience for this.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the one fighting game update they had was about Under Night and Birth, and they just said, "Hey, there's going to be the new character will be playable at Anime Expo. We can't show you anything." It's like, okay, well, why'd you even show up? And then ending it on that David and Baby trailer, which had so much lead up for like 10 seconds of just it
Dungeon
looked
crawling.
bad. Yeah, it just looked bad. Did you see it, Beef?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now, and I don't even know what this is, really. That's the
Exactly.
weird thing, yeah.
They barely introduced it. They just said this game will be called Damon and Baby. And I really recommend watching Maximilian Dude's reaction. It was the funniest thing because like 2 seconds before he was like, "This is gonna look really cool, guys. Just watch." And then that happened. So yeah, pretty bad showcase. I don't know why Arc System Work even bothers doing something like this. I think it's the same thing with IO Interactive where they really want to be a publisher and they want to show like, guys, look at how many games we're publishing. And it's like, I don't think you need a showcase to prove that you're a publisher.
I think,
Either way.
yeah, it's like that, but like, they're so known for one thing that is almost then it's like then
Mhm.
you gotta throw in Bubble Bobble and this Damon
Exactly.
Likes Babies, so
Like, it's one thing to have the Bubble Bobble game. It's like, cool, this game exists. It's good for certain people, but just the way they presented it is really what's just insulting about it.
Yeah, and I will say also, talking to Bubble Bobble fans, that game looked like dog shit to them too. So it was just, oh wow, okay, it just looks bad. Moving on to our next story. Oh, sorry, did you have something
I'm
else?
not just gonna say it's baby's first platform. That's what I called it in Discord, and it definitely is.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's
But yeah,
more
they
like
called it like a dungeon crawler or something like that. It's like, no, this is just a platformer.
it's newborn's first platformer. I think baby is a little too harsh. All right, let's move into our next story, which is also negative news. Microsoft is planning major job cuts at Xbox gaming division. This is Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. Microsoft Corp will conduct another round of major layoffs in its Xbox division next week as part of a company-wide reorganization. Managers within Xbox are expecting substantial cuts across the entire group, according to people familiar with the plans who asked not to be identified. Discussing non-public information, the company declined to comment. This will be the fourth big layoff at Xbox in the past 18 months, following three major cuts last year and the closure of several subsidiaries. Xbox, which produces video game hardware and software. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I know what Xbox is, Jason. Um, I also wanted to bring up this thing from Andy Robinson. He was quote tweeting this guy, George Broussard, who I know he was the co founder of 3D Realm, so he would know some things. News has reported imminent Xbox layoffs, but I'm hearing internal developer level stuff where people at virtually every studio are anxious and worried. Words that potentially entire studios may be shuttered. Expectations are 1,000 to 2,000 people. I think the Xbox unit has about 10K people in it, so 10 to 20%. Good luck to all involved. And then Andy Robinson quote tweeted that can't confirm any specific details, and I imagine few would be able to, but there's certainly a lot of negative chatter coming out of the UK Xbox studios today. For the sake of the employees, I hope details are confirmed swiftly, but I expect this will drag well into next week. And then finally, last thing, I got this from Gaming Leaks and Rumors. Tom Warren, Turn 10 is bracing for layoffs. There's online speculation that entire studios could be closed, and I've heard from sources that Turn 10, the studio behind Forza Motorsport, is bracing for cuts. Now, this is usually the case at these giant companies. It's just layoff season, sadly, and it usually happens around this time. I think this is around the same time the Tango closure happened last year. It's always a shitty situation. I don't have too much new to say about how awful layoffs are for the health of the industry that I haven't already said before. It sucks. I hope that people are able to find jobs under different companies, but it seems like these are going to be just as major. You'd have to assume a lot of these are from like kind of like still residuals from the Activision Blizzard deal of just a large majority of employees that they need to cut out to continue profiting. I guess I don't know. I don't try to understand these big companies anymore.
I don't know. I saw someone like OIT. Like it's this is like the end of the financial reporting like year, and it's like
Yeah.
like I fully expect it to be like pretty glowing. Consider like they just had like Oblivion and like a bunch of stuff come out this quarter, so I'm expecting that it'll be good. And then it's like so wise. So yeah, it's just frustrating stuff, and obviously no one's like looking happy about it. They're all like just like, why are we still doing this?
And I assume it's going to happen next week, which I think you said is the fiscal quarter end.
Mm-hmm.
So probably around that time period. I'm curious about what you guys think about the British studios. So right now, I think that's Ninja Theory, Rare, and a bunch of support studios, and there might be one more. Is Turn 10 British? I always forget.
I didn't think they were, but the way that Tom was telling me, I was like, I guess I could be wrong.
I
I'm
know.
looking
I
it
know
up.
Playground is British. I can
No,
check real
Turn
quick.
10's not British, yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. But yeah, Playground's British. I assume Playground's safe, like completely, or at the very least, they're gonna get job cuts, but they're not gonna get shuttered. Beef, do you think there's any possibility Rare gets shuttered? I mean, I know there's a wealth
No,
of IP and Sea of Thieves is massive, but Everwild's been cooking for a while. Do you think it's like at the very least they cut like a big part of the Everwild team?
don't know. I really don't know. Maybe. I mean, everyone's always worried that's gonna get canceled. Maybe this is it, but no, I don't think they'll get shut it. My understanding is Sea of Thieves still does relatively well. I mean, it did really well when it got ported to PlayStation, so
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I don't know. It's hard. That's why I was like, I almost don't want to speculate,
Oh
but
yeah, I
that's
hate speculating on
that's
people's
also why I was
jobs.
like, I was just hoping it was like today. It was like, so it's like it's yeah, like not
Just get
saying
it
the
over with.
employees. It's like the employees don't want to keep having to wait. So
Mhm.
yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
didn't know what he meant when he said that. I was like, I know what he means.
For Andy Robinson.
Yeah, like what studios? Yeah, like.
Oh yeah. I think he's mostly just thinking like a lot of the British studios. There's like
Mhm.
negative chatter, but maybe not. Maybe that's just negative chatter across all the studios and
I'm
not just
sure. Yeah,
specifically one of them gets shut down.
yeah. I wonder how many of them even know what's going on.
Well, that sucks as per usual. I have to assume we're probably going to talk about it next week. I I just really hope it's not leading to studio shuttering, or at least like
Yeah,
any
same.
major studios at the very very least. Because I feel like it's like Xbox has a really good rhythm going. Like they've had such a strong year this year that I feel like this type of news is the type of break stepping that we keep
Mhm.
saying that they try to avoid, but they keep doing it. Let's move into our next story. Sega, God bless them, accidentally revealed the sales of many of their older games. I found this really funny because specifically of the term accidentally. This was at the investor briefing. It came out a little after we recorded the podcast last week, so I wasn't able to talk about it. There was some interesting stats here. So Persona 5 Royal right now of these is the highest at 7.25 million units. But something we noticed, Moon, it sells 1.5 million units every year.
Yeah, that's just an interesting factoid that I pulled that number from someone who did the numbers in the Reddit file
Oh
that
yeah.
the Reddit account that I saw this on, and
Mhm.
basically and someone followed up on that and said it's something really interesting to think about, that it basically comes down to, because Persona 5 and because Sega in general puts their games on sale so often, and Persona 5 is always part of that sale, so and they always put it on pretty good discounts, so it's always climbing the top sale charts, and Persona 5 is just getting more and more popular as time goes on, as people realize these kind of games exist and they're also really good. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's a discount now, I'll try it out." And so it just keeps selling. It's just the game that keeps on selling. It's Sega's Skyrim.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's one of those things where it's just like also, like you said, constantly on deep sale. I always see it on sale for like 10 to $20, which is it's kind of funny to think about with all these games. Actually, Sega's kind of become the new Ubisoft of putting their shit on sale all the time.
I definitely own
Um,
like 3 copies myself. I'm pretty
yeah,
certain, so
I think I have like
I get it.
five if you include, because I think the
Oh, with Royal, I think I own 4 actually. Yeah.
yeah, I wonder.
I
And
I
then
have
next,
my yeah, I have my PS4 copy that I use, and then I hung my PS5 copy that I bought off Amazon for like $20 because I'm
hell
like, I'm
yeah,
never gonna open that. I'm just gonna hang it in a frame, and
oh,
that's
yeah,
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 just
that
sitting
frame
there.
a game thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love those things. Next is Sonic Frontiers at 4.57 million, which I'll admit is actually more than I expected. I know
It's
Sonic's
more.
popular, but that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Team Sonic Racing, unfortunately, is at 3.5 million. That's too much for a game that really sucks. Yakuza Like a Dragon at 2.86 million. Hell yes, let's get it to 3 million. That game slaps. Sonic Superstars, this is actually the funniest stat to me, is at 2.43 million.
it makes sense because it's it fed on the all the people who want just 2D Sonic games. So it makes sense
Yeah,
that something like that is popular. And I
that's a sales
from
of
what I
it.
know of the game, it's decent. Like I don't know how well, but people say I haven't seen people complain about it, so I'm
It,
assuming it's decent.
it's the same quality as other 2D Sonic games. it's
That's what
just
people want. That's what the Sonic fans want. At least the
that's what they
2D
want.
Sonic fans.
I know a lot of 2D Sonic fans were not too hot on it comparatively, but also they're like, well, I'll take it. I think they really want just a sequel to Mania, which I get because Mania is so good. This one I was a little surprised about, and then I actually read it again, and it's like makes more sense. SMT5 and Vengeance is 2.11 million. I thought that was just Vengeance. It's SMT5 and Vengeance. So the original release in 2021 and also the Vengeance release.
Yeah, because I'm sure the original release wasn't huge, being a Switch exclusive, and then it got the
Mhm.
huge bump with not only a whole new campaign, which made people go, "Oh, well, I need to play this new campaign," as well as being on PC and other platforms now. So it's
And
I'm pretty
and
sure it was a
Atlas
lot
grow in
lower if it was just the
popularity.
original.
Yeah.
That is still like insanely good for like a SMT, is my
Oh yeah.
understanding. Like those things like never went over a million, so it's still
Mhm.
It's
insane.
just showing like just how big Persona 5 has put Atlas on the map. Everyone's checking
Mhm.
out their games now.
Yeah. And then next is Persona 3 Reload at 2.7 million. Not too much to say there. I think the original statistic, it was the fastest Atlas game to hit a million sales, and it seems like it got that other million pretty quickly after that. So
Mhm.
pretty good for that game. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth at 1.66 million, and then Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased Their Name at 960,000. Not even a million yet. Beef, what do you think of these numbers? Because I saw a lot of like Doom posting about Infinite Wealth's numbers.
I don't see that. I think it's so hard because it seems like Sega never really complains about any of their
Yeah,
numbers. Like
not
it
like
almost
Square.
always seems like I don't know if it's that. I mean, it's definitely their expectations always like seemingly in check,
Mhm.
and you can tell that because like most of their like franchises come out pretty quickly. So yeah, I'm never like none of these are too. They all seem. I mean, Sega seems to have them, so I'm like it seems all
Yeah.
good, especially with. It's hard to do post about Yakuza when they put out a new game every year. Like, so you know those games are just made like super like mass production. They're not super expensive, so yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
I don't see any concern there.
And specifically with Infinite Wealth, I don't know if you guys remember. I think it hit a million sales in like a week or like 3 days,
Hmm.
like really short time. So that also tells me it's like this is a game that made like a million of those sales were full price sales. So it made a lot more money than I
This,
think these numbers like to point out. Like I think the problem with looking at numbers like a pure like 2-3 million is people forget how often games go on sale.
mhm.
Um, and that's why like Nintendo numbers are always so like interesting at how much they are. Where like Mario Kart 8 sold like what, like I think the last number was 60 million, and that was all full price. Like maybe you get a $10-$20 discount, but that's about it. Most games, Skyrim goes on sale for like $10. Like a
Yeah.
lot of games go on sale for extremely deep discounts, including Sega games. So I think in general, I would like people to pay attention more to fastest selling. How fast does it sell a million to 2 million?
And units, I think, is probably another thing you should more
Yep,
watch instead of just sales.
exactly. And I mean, I think about specifically Metaphor Refantasio. That hit 2 million sales, and I saw a lot of people also Doom posting about that. And again, I really don't think it's that much of a Doom posting
Uh,
situation because it hit a million in like I think you guys remember like under a day. It was a very fast million to where I forget, was it 60 or 70 when it came out?
I think it
7.
was 60.
Yeah,
I
60.
don't remember. Yeah.
So yeah, I made $60 million right off the bat. And then it's gone on sale a bunch since then, but not to a point of being like a $10-$20 game. So
Mm.
it made another billion off of like not deep discounts. That's why again I'm like really confused by the Doom posting of I'm just gonna say it bop.
I don't.
uh,
Yeah,
so
I
I
how,
don't
think
get it.
they realize, like companies like Sega realize that they're never going to be these multi-million selling things that
yeah,
like Square Enix thinks they are. So they're happy with these $1 million sales, especially when all of these sales, like the majority of them, are happening at launch at full price. So their
Mhm.
fans are showing up and buying these games at launch, which is I'm
exactly.
sure is what they're more happy about than anything.
That's a really good point. And I think Sega knows like these were franchises that like for a while were not popular at all. So like any
Yeah.
gain is good. Like I mean, like I know not Persona, Yakuza 5 like almost didn't even come to the West. That's how bad the
Mhm.
series was down. So yeah, I'm sure they're just like these them and Atlas like consistent releases. Yeah, the fans show up. So
And
I
more people are playing them. And
yeah.
the fact is you get more people playing them, the next game is gonna do even better.
Look,
And
I don't
that's
need
exciting.
I don't need Bob to be like Square Enix when Yakuza's trying to not when Sega's trying to be happy with Yakuza and Persona, so not quite
Yeah,
there.
that's why I really respect Sega. They're like pretty happy with their sales numbers. They don't need like fucking 80 million sales for every game like Square Enix apparently does.
It is still wild that again it is almost Skyrim in that Persona 5 sold so well. Now it's like it's been 9 years though, and
Yeah.
now with the remake, I'm like, when is 6 actually coming?
I I still want to believe like maybe it's a situation where it's the same year as 4 remake, but
I
then
could
it's like
see it.
That'd be
I
I was
that's a crazy year.
I mean
I
they
was
did that though.
surprised.
They did
I
that
was
last
surprised
year with
Metaphor, yeah, in Persona 3. I was surprised, but
It's surprising, yes, but at the same time, it's two different IPs,
I know that's what
they're
helps
by two
that,
different
yeah.
teams. Where it's like, no, now you're getting both two Persona games. Yeah, like yeah, you can call Metaphor a Persona like because it's similar design philosophy, same company and all that, but it's at least two different IPs. Whereas no, now it's literally Persona 4 remake and Persona 6.
You guys think 6 could come out before 4 remake?
Eh,
I wanted
good
to,
question.
but at this time, I think they're just kind of riding the high of, Persona sells like 1 million a year. We're good there. We're gonna have Persona 4 get us a little bit more on top of that. So it's like we don't need to rush it out. So that's what I'm fearing they're doing.
It's been
It-
like a decade since 5. It's
oh,
crazy.
Wolf, they have the big Persona game already. It's 5. It's the mobile game.
Oh yeah,
Five
yeah, the
X.
mobile game. By
Yeah,
the way,
that's what
isn't
they
on
got.
console. It's on Steam, but
Which
not
is
console.
wild. It should at least
That
be on Switch.
I think they said they are. I was reading up on it. Apparently, they want to bring it to console at a
Okay.
later date. But
Hopefully,
I
with the console, it can have a little bit better user interface with a controller. Because goddamn,
yeah, you would hope so. I was looking at screenshots of it, and you'll talk about it later. But it looked a lot like the MiHoYo games of like, oh wow, there's just like 1,000 things on screen right now.
Yep.
Move on to our next story. I don't really have much to say here. Limited edition MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition announced, $399.99. Custom 128GB MetaQuest 3S, matching Touch Plus controller, and a limited edition Xbox wireless controller. Elite strap. 3 months of Meta
Yeah.
Horizon Plus and 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. What's the strap? Tell me,
That's a
Beef.
weird thing to call it. The like actual head strap on the Quest usually sucks, so the Elite's just like a better strap. But
That's so funny. Elite strap.
it is hilarious, yeah. When you say it like that, I was like, that sounds terrible out of context.
My assumption with this is effectively Xbox just wanting kind of dip their toes in VR and like kind of do something because this is a really limited quantity. I think they said in the press release, so it's effectively a thing of like, hey, we just want to see what people's like interest in this type of thing is. We're not trying to like kind of go crazy with VR. Just dip the toes and continue that this is an Xbox type initiative.
Pretty much, I think it's just branding. This did make me want to. I do want to try and report back on like the cloud streaming to like what looks like you're in a home theater when you're in VR. I want to try that. I forgot about that. I need to see how that's like.
Yeah, I'm curious about something like that because like it would have to stream. Does that stream from the console or does it stream from their servers?
That's a good question. I think just like from the cloud. I did it once with PSVR, but like the original PSVR, so it was blurry as hell. That's why I haven't done it. So I'm sure it'll be a little better. So I'll have to try that sometime.
And the original PS4 is so funny.
I
It feels
love
like that
it.
thing was.
I
Oh yeah, it's
love it.
awesome. But man,
It's
that thing is built with
because I still have
toothpicks.
it, but looking back, I'm like, that thing is so like thrown together. I can't believe how successful it was.
They took the old PlayStation Move
I
controllers from the
know.
PS3 and said, "Here's the controllers." It's like you couldn't even make a new one. Oh, that's funny. And then speaking of funny, listen, guys, the Game of the Year conversation just got a little bit more interesting because Drag X Drive has now gotten a release date for August 14th. Sarubato at Gamatsu. 3 versus 3 sports game Drag X Drive will launch for Switch 2 via Nintendo eShop on August 14th for $19.99, Nintendo announced. And also, they announced this on the Nintendo Today app, which is very funny. I have been a hater of this game for a long time, and I'm still a hater. I just think it looks really fucking ugly. Now, it being a $20 eShop game, maybe that helps it a bit because it's not full priced, but also Welcome Tour is $10, and I felt like I wasted $10 on that. So I'm wondering how a 3v3 basketball wheelchair game will be worth $20.
Which doesn't have
Guys,
local multiplayer, by the way.
oh, it doesn't. Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
I posted
forgot.
that in, I think, news or something. But yeah, it does. I think someone posted they got like early access or something, and they said, yeah, it doesn't have local multiplayer.
I can't play with my cousins. Oh, God forbid. Yeah, I don't know. I have zero hype for this. Beef, do you have anything,
No,
any
I'm with
feeling
you.
around it?
No, I'm with you. I'm like the way it looks, even the control. I'm like, this looks terrible. I haven't even tried the mouse controls yet. I'm waiting till Metroid 4. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
gonna be a fun one.
this is not why I'm not
I'm
interested.
just like annoyed when people say it's like, oh, this is gonna be the arms to for this Switch too. It's like, don't ever treat arms that way. Arms at least had a personality and an art style. It's like this.
Yeah.
I hate looking at this.
It definitely does give off the tech demo vibes of like, yeah, we threw this together so we can figure out what to do and how people can incorporate these mouse controls. Like, no, you have Metroid doing it right over here. Like, we didn't need something else like this. I don't know if
Donkey
it
Kong's
just needs
paint
tech
mode will
demo.
be better. That's gonna actually be the real mouse mode showing off game. I also think about it. It's like I feel like this was supposed to be a launch title, and I wonder what about it got delayed because it wasn't the art style. They weren't trying to get more art in there. I don't know why it's an August game. Like it feels like it's like you might as well just throw it at launch. No one would have bought it, but at least you would have had it. Well, Drag X Drive. Hopefully you're. Man, no, it's not going to be good. I'm not even going to
It's
try
not
to
going
say
to do
hopefully.
anything.
But a game that is doing something is Death Stranding 2, which got its reviews this week and also just released yesterday. Sitting at a 90 on OpenCritic right now. Very high review. 9 out of 10 from IGN. The Gamer gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Game Informer, 8.8 out of 10. GameSpot, a 7. So there's still a little bit of contingency around certain reviewers, but it seems like, excuse me, overall, the game is very good, and you can tell Kojima is very upset about this because he wanted this thing to be divisive. Damn it. 90, that is not divisive enough. I have not been able to jump into this yet because
No,
I
no.
am. I don't know. I got nothing. I've been like very busy the last couple days, but hopefully I want to jump into it this weekend because I am very excited to see what Kojima's doing it to me.
Yeah, I feel like I thought that I bought the first one on launch, the more contentious one when no one really understood, but not this time. But yeah, I'm behind, so I'm catching up on other games first.
Sick. Yeah, it feels like I think also Beef. We know we're going to be playing this for a long time. It's like
Yeah,
70 hours apparently.
I
Oh,
was a
God.
little. I am so happy to hear that it like opens better because that was the most jarring thing going back to one when I did on Steam Deck. I was like, "Man, I forgot how this opening kind of
Very
drags."
slow. Yeah,
Because yeah,
it hooked me, but I was also like, okay, I want to get to the main thing.
I didn't
I
think
heard
about
it
it.
opens a lot better.
I don't know. I must not thought about when I first played, but yeah, on a replay, you're like, I remember this stuff. Can we get going?
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully I check it out later this weekend. Moving into our topic, boys. We are at the end of June, which means we're now going into another quarter of the year. So usually quarterly kind of look forward, see what's coming out in the quarter. I wanted to ask you guys. I think we should all have 3 games each that we want to shout out that we're really excited for, and then from there we can kind of check out like the little scraps of things that we want to talk about. Start immediately. It's on Con Bonanza, man. Right now, this is the game I can't stop thinking about personally. It went from like I was excited to extremely excited after the direct. The direct was the thing that really sold me on this game to see what they're actually doing with it. A lot more than I actually thought they were going to do. I thought it was going to be a little bare bones. It seems like no, they're actually going to go very heavy with this game. And now I'm like at the point of, oh damn, I just want to play this. Like I can't really think about other games right now. I just want to jump into Donkey Kong, start punching shit. And I also checked out the demo at Target recently. And yeah, it's very fun to just punch shit. Like that's literally most of it right now. From the demo. I don't think it's a game that demos the best, but even then it's like I was having fun just like looking for secret areas, checking out like all the little Easter eggs, and just talking to the random NPCs. That's like, okay, no, there's going to be a lot more meat to the bone here that I'm very interested to see how it turns out in the final game. So yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza, I cannot wait for this one.
Same, yeah. That direct turned me around. I still have like some hesitations, like the main gameplay, like if I'll get bored with just messing everything up. But I'm much more sold now. So I went
Yeah.
from not being sold, but now I want to play it. Yeah, day one.
Moon, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, on my kind of same thing. Like, I'm definitely a lot more interested after the direct because there's actually like, as they say, meat on the bone with this game now instead of just punchy smash. But I do worry that you're given all this exploration stuff, and it does look awesome. But that makes me worry that the game is going to be a lot of here's a lot of random shit you can go do in each world, go collect a bunch of stuff. But that means like the main objective of the game is going to be more on the hollow side. So that's what I worry about. That as someone who doesn't do a whole lot of extra stuff, that
I
it's like I'm gonna play through the game and it's gonna be good, and I'm gonna feel just a little bit of that. Like someone put it perfectly that this feels like a Pixar movie. Like you look at what this game is doing, it feels like the best Pixar movie Pixar has put out in a couple of years.
Yeah,
Um,
probably. Been a rough couple
and
years for Pixar.
and so like I'm gonna enjoy it for that regard, but then
Mhm.
I'm gonna be left feeling I don't want to say hollow, but like oh there could have been more or something
More,
along those
more
lines.
like to the mainline path. If for the
Yeah,
people who aren't completionists are freaks like me.
yeah. So
I
I'm
get what
sure
you
it's
mean.
only gonna be I'm sure it'll be a really good game at the end, but I'm worried that I'm gonna get myself too hyped for it, and then I'm just gonna play through the game and get like, oh, that was it.
I will say, at least in the demo, there was very much like a main objective they were pushing me towards. And it seems like there
That's
was
good.
more to that main objective than just like go to this circle and grab enough bananas. But again, that was just a very small slice of the demo. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I'm
that the
excited.
demo didn't have like any of the RPG elements to it.
Yeah, it let me like pick out some skill points, but I wasn't able to like really test it out. It only gives you like 15 minutes to play, so I'm curious how it's gonna be like really deep diving into it. But yeah, I'm excited for that one. Beef. What about you? What game are you looking forward to right now?
I'll take the. It's at the end of the quarter. It's kind of far away, but I will.
Mhm.
I'll do Silent Hill F. Plus, it
Yeah,
comes out my birthday, so I'm glad about that. The first Silent Hill game in. Wolf, I don't even know if I can pull like how long it's been. Over 10 years since the new one.
I think there was PT, kinda.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm
Oh,
looking forward.
hang on. There was the interactive drama series. What was it?
Oh,
Townshed or something?
okay,
That
that's
doesn't
right.
count.
I'm canceling all of these for like yeah, even the real one. I was almost gonna call out the like PS Vita like Diablo like, but
Oh yeah, that was weird.
I don't remember. But yeah, so it's been a while. I'm looking forward to it. Basically, yeah, just because I was like, first. I'm also excited. That's kind of a big change. Like we said, it's now in Japan, and so it's gonna
Mhm.
go a lot more like. I can be even weirder than, which is weirder than I would have expected from Silent Hill. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to that. I think it's coming out at like the right time. I'm very much in the mood for a horror game, and I don't know if there really is much else like at least coming up soon that I think is gonna like
Yeah,
also
not
kind
till
of be a horror
29.
game. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking forward to right now. But maybe not the most because yeah, Bonanza's right on my mind. But I think as it approaches, that's gonna kind of build up.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Can't wait. Love Silent Hill 2 remake was phenomenal. That was in my top 5 last year, I think. And yeah, no, I just like feed me more Silent Hill stuff, and I'm right there with you with the different settings. This one seems to be a lot more aggressive about the horror vibes more than the kind of like trying to fight off the horror creatures. It's like, no, you're gonna try to run away. Because I don't even think there's firearms at all in the game. So it
Now,
seems to be like very melee focused. That's the one thing that I'm like, I wonder how the gameplay is gonna feel. That's the
Yeah, I've
one
seen
little thing.
Yeah, I've seen some good subs. I'm not expecting to blow me away, but I'm just like, as long
Yeah.
as it's like good to pretty good, then I'll be like, that's all I needed, really.
And that's never been my like reason for playing Silent Hill. The gameplay's always like fine. And I know you're excited for it too, Moon, right?
Oh yes.
Moon?
Oh, you're talking to me. I thought you.
Yeah, yeah.
For some reason, I thought I heard the word Tomb Raider. I'm like, Tomb Raider? What? When's Tomb Raider?
There's a Tomb Raider game this quarter. Holy shit.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it just because it's like as you all said, it's the different take on it where you are not at least a grown adult male who can at least wield
Oh,
a gun
yeah.
and a metal pipe effectively. You are a small schoolgirl,
Yeah.
Japanese schoolgirl. So that's gonna hopefully add some interesting aspects to it. But it that does draw the worry of, is it possible that it's like it overstays its welcome in that regard of, yeah, I have to fight this enemy again with my stick, and it's like I've been doing this for 20 hours. I'm tired of it now.
Yeah. I'm curious about it.
Like,
But yeah.
just how do they keep the combat or whatever they consider combat interesting
I,
throughout the whole game?
my assumption is that the game will be short enough to where the combat being kind of bland won't be that bad. Because
That would be nice.
2 remake was a little long in the tooth, but usually Silent Hill games are like 10 hours max. So they're kind of meant to be replayed a bunch. So I wonder how they're gonna handle it with this game. And apparently the writer for this game does a lot of like horror visual novels that are very very highly regarded. I think his name is Ryukishio7. I haven't read any of those, or I guess played them, so I can't say for myself if they're that good. But I heard they're very very highly acclaimed. So I'm curious to see how the story will fare. Moon, what about your first one that you want to shout out?
Well, you took the two biggest ones. Let's go with. I'm just flipping through my list here.
It's a big quarter.
Yeah, it's a big quarter. It's a very busy quarter.
Yeah, really. We're not gonna be able to play all these games. I already know.
No.
I guess I'll just take the last big one is Mafia Old Country,
Yeah.
and it looks very good, and it's gonna be at the forefront of this conversation that I'm sure the industry is gonna be having regarding $50 and $60 games when everything else has gone up to 70 and 80. So that'll be interesting and hopefully the game holds up. Now it'll be a different conversation when the game comes out and it's a middling 77, but
Yeah.
um, but in regards to that, it's just if it's like a good game, and then you have like games like Expedition 33 and now Mafia both holding these crowns of like, here are some really good games, and they were all underneath what the original $60 was. Like, where's this conversation? We need to have a conversation, guys.
Yeah. And I will say for Mafia specifically, I very much trust that the story will bang. I think the story will be good. Gameplay, nah, I don't know. But I think the fact that this one's linear is a big thing. Because Mafia 3, I think, is a great game, but my god, the open world really ruins it. I think the fact that now that they're going full linear, it's like, hey, this is going to be like a 10-hour kind of joint. You're going to get a in and out type story, a weekend game, which I think I miss a lot of those type of like games in the AAA space. And I wonder if this one will kind of rekindle that excitement for me. Yeah, no, that's a good choice. I think Mafia is. I'm looking forward to that a bunch. Coming out very soon too. It's August 8th, so pretty early on in the quarter. My second one, I am gonna go ahead and snag Metal Gear Solid Delta. This one's obvious for me. I love Metal Gear Solid. It's like my favorite franchise probably. And this is just a pretty much one-to-one remake of one of the best ones, Snake Eater. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm also just looking forward to all the people who are going to get to play it for the first time and understand why Metal Gear Solid is so fucking cool. I'm so curious to know more about that multiplayer mode, because they basically said it's not Metal Gear Online, but it's this new thing. Don't know what that's all about, but can't wait. Very soon, August 28th. The only problem, man, it is in a very busy time period. Obviously, I'm going to play it above all else, but I'm like, damn, it's like, I really want to play like a lot of the other games coming out around that time period.
I have to look and see what was around that time period. I think it's the main one for me around that time period, so I probably will get to it. But yeah, I'm also just looking forward to it just because it's been a while since I've played 3, so I'm looking forward to going back.
Yeah, Snake Eater is the one to remake out of all of those. That's the highly beloved one, and it's also the first one in the timeline. So I'm kind of glad they chose that as the first one they remake. Beef, what's your second game?
Okay. I thought Moon would take it first, so I might steal it anyways. Is I'm real Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
I was just about to do that.
Yeah, that's the one. Like, I don't think we both played the demo, and it was pretty good. So basically, it's lived up to. I'm glad it's got announced so like soon. It's coming out end of July, so it's a little bit of time. But I'm glad it's like not they ain't slap it still 2025. They ain't be like, oh, we'll announce it later. They're like, no, 2 more months. So yeah, I've been looking forward to it. Glad I got to play the demo, and I'm just looking forward to it. I think trying to think if there's any other like 2D games or there's not many like other 2D games or like even indie games. I guess other than the Hollow I'm looking forward to. So this is kind of gonna be perfect
Shinobi?
small game I'm looking forward to.
What about Shinobi for you, Beef?
I don't know if I'm gonna be playing Shinobi. We'll see. I haven't even
That's fine.
followed it too much, but yeah, that's not exactly my
That's
Shinobi
definitely
is
a
not too
more
much
wait and
for
see
me.
kind of games, like how do reviews pan out and
Yeah.
whatnot.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean Ninja Gaiden Reaper. I didn't play the demo like you guys, but that game looks fucking sick. It looks like just hey, here we're going back to the classic Ninja Gaiden formula, the 2D games, which I didn't really play too much of, but we're just gonna do that and kind of modernize it in a lot of ways and do this insanely gorgeous pixel art. So yeah, I'm very excited for that one. Moon, what about your second game that was stolen from you?
Let's go into. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about baby steps because I actually did play the demo, so I have something to talk about.
Okay.
Oh man, second most anticipated. Okay.
No, because you guys have already taken all my other ones.
There's so many other games.
We
You're
have
gonna get to baby steps.
We have to discuss it. I'm actually surprised some people are like, oh no, it's actually funny, like legitimately funny. I'm surprised people think it's like funny, considering.
I do find it funny. I didn't get as far as I wanted to because I found my biggest problem with the game, which is apparently after I watched like some trailer or dev speak or something about it, and they mentioned where it's a game without really an objective so much because they don't
Mhm.
tell you where to go, what to do. Basically, their design philosophy was that you can at least see something within your distance and like if you look out in the distance you'll see at least something, and so you'll be go, okay, I guess I'll go check that out next. So that's their whole design philosophy instead of giving you any kind of like quest markers or anything like that. And I just had that's how I kind of like lost interest because I'm like, okay, well, I'll go to this thing, nothing really happened. Okay, I go to this thing, I talk to some guy, and the comedy is very dry, but I kind of liked it for that regard.
It's very British.
Very British,
Yeah.
and also very Rick and Morty in some ways too. That kind of a humor, and it's like I liked it. What I found really interesting though playing it is like at first I was really messing up with the controls. Like, how do you even do this? And then eventually, after a lot of trial and error, I finally got a rhythm. I actually got to a point where I was sprinting, and I was like, "God damn, I'm really good at this now."
I mean, it's a Bennett Foddy game, and the whole point of those games is that they're very hard to control.
Yeah. But it was cool that eventually I got it on. I don't know how we would do this on a keyboard, but with the controller and the triggers, I was finally able to get a rhythm down of how to move my legs. So I was able to climb pretty well. I'm able to sprint in some locations as long as it's not too hilly. Um, so that was really cool. But I just kind of just got bored with it at some point because at a point you get to a point of I'm just wandering to this place and I'm just gonna keep wandering to the next place now. Now, if you're invested in like I want to see more of this comedy and whatnot, maybe that can hold you over. But I just have lost interest in podcast games. Like this is probably gonna be a really good podcast game because
Right.
when you're walking from location to location, literally nothing is going on. You don't have a narrator.
Mm.
Whatever the character's name is, I can't remember. He doesn't talk to himself. The most you get is when you fall over, he goes, "Oh no, oh crap," and that's as much as you get. Um, so I can't see some people being really into this, especially like streamers. I bet.
Yeah, this is a
And
streamer game.
This is a streamer game because at least you'll be interacting with your audience and chatting and just doing a bunch of other making challenges for yourself. But as someone who's just sitting in his room playing it, I need some kind of stimulant to go after, and so I praise the game for what it is, but I just don't know if I'm actually going to actually commit to however long this is. Like maybe if maybe when it comes out and how long the beat says it's like, oh, it's like 8 hours, 6 hours, maybe I'll feel a little bit better. But if they say, oh yeah, this takes like 20 hours to beat, I mean, no.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
When I know 19 of those 20 hours is going to be dead silence.
Yeah,
I-
it's Bennett Foddy kind of doing something a little bit more different, but still retaining a lot of like his normal games like identity of just like, yeah, this is a very hard game to control. You might get frustrated, but I get it's very much like focused on the kind of dryness of the humor and whatever else is like his design philosophy, which I haven't really played any of his games extensively, so I can't say too much about if I'm into it. I kind of intrigued by this game, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be one I want to jump into immediately.
I need to just see like the parts where it gets like really hard because I know it starts off like just simple walking. I want to see where it gets like insane, like like only upwards. Like a mistake is you go into the like an hour back or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, I've already done that.
That's
like there's this part in the beginning because I'm just like in this like wetlands mountain range, and that's where all I was in the beginning. And I don't know if the demo goes further beyond that, but I got myself up pretty good high on this mountain, and I accidentally fell over and found a ditch that just slid me all the way down the mountain. I lost a good hour or so in progress on that. that made me uninstall the demo.
exactly. That's what I'm looking forward. That's what the streamers are looking forward to as well.
That's Benefati games. Yeah, that was Moon's second game. He cannot wait. Third game. I mean, hey, I know you guys are a bit more skeptical. For me, it's Shinobi. I can't fucking wait for this game. This is the Streets of Rage team. They have a gorgeous art style for what they're doing. And pretty much everything I've heard from the demo impressions is, no, this game's actually kind of rips ass. It is an action platformer. It is very, what's it called? There's more like RPG mechanics, I think they were, from what I was like reading about, of like you're equipping like skills and like deciding stuff like that, which I think is really cool. I seriously love just looking at the game. That Lizard Cube, I think, is the name of the studio. They make such gorgeous looking games, and the problem with Streets of Rage is I hate beat 'em ups. But now they're actually making something I care about. So now I'm like, yeah, okay. Now I want to see what you guys can do. So I'm very excited about that one. I want to see what it's able to do because I think it's so cool that Sega's kind of doing this like initiative of bringing back their old IP in like kind of a new way. And Shinobi, I think right now is the first of those games that is releasing. Because we don't know anything about the Jet Set Radio or Crazy Taxi game. That Crazy Taxi is the one I really want to see, but Shinobi is like the one I'm like still very excited to check out. Like I wish there was a demo release for it, like Ragebound is, because I'm like I want to get my hands on the sticks for this one. Beef, your third game.
No. I have my easy answer. I'm just wondering if like there's anything else, but I guess I'll do it. It's coming out soon. It's like Tony Hawk is the
I thought that'd be
one.
your first one.
I know. Well, I'm like I am definitely looking forward to it, but I'm like, oh, it's almost so easy. It's just like a remake of mainly 3 for me. I know there's still like some people asking like what's 4 gonna look like, and I'm like, well, for me, I'm almost kind of preferring it because I don't even know if I mentioned it afterwards, but like I did go play 4, and I was like, this isn't. It's like so different that I kind of get
open, why. Like you do the
yeah.
missions.
Well, I'm like if I want that, like I'm like I want like I've played Underground and I like that, but I'm like I almost want more from like this is what the main series is, and then Underground's the more open like kind of series. So I mean, I think we'll learn more and we'll see how people feel, but I'm still pretty happy about it. And I know it's like in 2 weeks. I actually did play the demo. I didn't play it for too long because it was just the Foundry demo, and I'm like, oh, it's just 1+2, but a new map, so I didn't need to play it for super long. But I'm like, nope, still feels very good. So I'll be there. It's coming soon. There's not much more to say other than like
it's Tony Hawk.
2 weeks. It looks like it's 2 weeks. I'll be here soon.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm really excited for it, but I'm also like, I know what to expect. I recently played through 1+2. Really, really dug it. I thought it was a ton of fun. Now it's like, hey, here's 3+4. It's like, damn, immediately. I didn't have to wait 5 years like you did, so that works out for me. Very excited to see what they're gonna be doing. I've not played the original games, obviously, so this is effectively like, here's a new Tony Hawk game. They're also adding new maps, correct?
Yes, that is actually one thing. I almost expected that. I think they touched on a little during like E3 week. But like, yeah, it's kind of the one thing I think is really going to be interesting. If those hit, I think that could be another thing that it's like might help it a lot in reviews. People are like, oh, this is almost like it's like a brand new map. These are like a first taste of what a new one could look like. So he was hoping those would be very good for the future of the franchise if they show, yeah, we can make new maps and they're really impressive.
There's a pinball level, which I think is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
like that type of creativity is super sick to me. Moon, what is your third game?
I'm torn between talking about a game that I'm looking forward to, but don't have much to say, or a game I at least played a demo of, so I do have some things to talk about.
I'd say do the looking forward to.
And then I guess I'll just go with the Trails in the Sky remake.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's coming out late September, I think.
yeah, it's like right at the end, near the end of the quarter. But yeah, I mean, the change that I've seen with it
Yeah.
being now more action instead of turn-based. Well, I think there's like a mixture of it, like you can switch between the two, which is a nice change to like maybe you could do some levels one way, some levels the other way. And the visuals are all just really impressive now. But I am still miffed about it being the first one only. Like I think it's like some dark part of me wants to say, I just would have taken like a HD upgrade trilogy pack instead of like a
Yeah, because
full-on remake.
they're still not on console even, which
Yeah,
is
so
weird.
it's just annoying in that regards. Like, okay, I'm gonna get cool and invested in this game, and
Wait
now I'm gonna
3
have to
years.
wait 4 more years for part two to come out. And especially because, at least from what I know of the Sky trilogy, because I just like briefly watched a video of it when I first dived into Trails. All of the plot happens in two, so
Yeah,
it's like so great. So I'm gonna be spending the $70 game for this intro game, basically, to the whole story.
I played the first game. I actually really liked it. But it's just one of those things. It's such a hard franchise for me to get into because it's like, oh, there's like 100 games. It's like, okay, well, I bet they're really good. Also, I feel like I get oversold on how big Trails is because of Bench yapping all the time about this damn thing. It's not even on the Game Informer list, which is
Oh, I was just about to complain. I was like, wait a minute, I forgot about this. It wasn't on because it's on the list. Yeah, that's why I had to take a look.
could I like message who makes this list and tell them like, yo, can you add this? Like Garfield Kart 2 is on the list, but not Trails of the Sky remake. That is really just
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Like we are the
I
niche
get
of
it.
the niche that knows about this.
Yeah.
I get it because it's always a bunch of games, and I feel like most lists I see are like missing stuff. But yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
come on.
It looks great though. I'm interested to see what
Yeah, visually it
Falcon is
looks
done with
great,
it.
and I'm liking the gameplay changes, but at the same time, I'm just like, do I want to get invested at this point?
I am interested in it actually. I would have mentioned it because I've owned the first one for God, probably at least 5 years. Like on Switch and on Steam, I've always meant to. I don't even remember at this point who shouted it out.
Mhm.
So it's like I am now. So when this got announced, I was like, oh, this might be the better way to play. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
probably the
looking
way you
forward
enter
to
it.
it. Yeah, but I hope I. Part of me also is like I would prefer. We'll see if I get into the series because yeah, I know it's like at least 10 super long games.
There's so many
So
games.
it's
Yes,
insane.
3, 5, 9,
Four
12,
Cold Steel
12.
games.
I don't even know all the like. Yeah, once Bench like started talking, I was like, I knew about like it's Cold Sky and then like it's like Cold Steel, and now I'm like, wait, what are these other ones? There's more. So
Oh, and they're
yeah,
also like they're not short.
no, they are
Like
not short at all.
at least with Yakuza games are like 30 hours. Like around even then. And I think that's like on the long
Mhm.
end, right? Beef.
Exactly. Like those like ones like Zero and Zero, I think is the long one, but I know like 1 and 2 are like 20 hours maybe.
Yeah. And
So
like Trails is like,
those,
no, this one's 60. It's like, what the
yeah.
fuck? What am I doing for 60 hours? Man, I would in a perfect world I'd try to get into Trails, but it just seems kind of impossible for me at this
That
point.
is like the one good thing, at least from because I played Zero and Azure, and yeah, they are like 40, 50 hours, but
Mhm.
much like Persona, it's not a lot of filler. Like their story is constantly happening. It's just the story is very long. So there's
Yeah.
dull moments, but at the very least, you're not just
Yeah.
mindlessly grinding and going on fetch quests and whatnot. The story is actively happening. So at least it has that going for it.
Yeah, it's like with the Atlas games, it's like I'm not mad when I'm playing them. I'm not feeling it. It's
Yeah.
just that when I'm like before I start, I'm just like I'm in here for the long haul.
It's like I'm gonna
Exactly.
be here 2 months from now,
Yeah, exactly.
which is my kind of regret. I'll talk about that later when we're going over what we've been playing.
Yeah, no, fair. Let's just go over like kind of the straggling things that we haven't talked about yet. Just shout if you really want to say something about it. Jack would be really mad if I didn't bring this up. Shadow Labyrinth is on July 17th. I still think it looks ugly as shit. I'm sorry.
I don't know why he's like so. I think it's hilarious, but I don't know why he's obsessed with it. But maybe he'll be right. Maybe we'll be wrong, and it'll be amazing.
Yeah, no, I bet it'll be good. I don't know about you guys, but like after watching that Double Dragon trailer and like certain other games recently, I think I've come to the realization I really fucking hate 2.5D games. Like with the 3D models in the 2D space, just stop that. I just do pixel art or do art style like a Shinobi or something. I hate when you do these ugly. If you're gonna do that, at least have a budget. Why does it look so ugly every single time? I hate looking at them.
That's the thing is though, it's like 2.5D is like the perfect like budget because
Yeah.
you can do 3D models, but then you're restricting yourself to the 2D space. So it's like it's like this perfect like mid-range budget, and that's what the companies want to go for.
Oh yeah, it's way cheaper. I know why they exist. I just hate looking at them every single time. Mario Party Jamboree is getting that Switch 2 version with the camera, which is pretty funny. I kind of want to check it out, but I'm also like, I can't put the money on that. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, it's yet another Souls-like. I was excited for this, and then Andy Cortez at Kind of Funny was like, "Oh, I played the demo. It was not that good." So I immediately am uninterested.
Exactly. If it's good enough, I'll play it on Game Pass. But also watching them, like we're getting maybe too many of these like Souls like
you
Asian
think?
devs out, and they're all looking the same. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, okay, some of you are gonna need like stand out a little more.
As a Souls-like fan, stop it. No more Souls-likes. Let's slow it down. Let FromSoft and like NeoWiz. NeoWiz is Lies of P, right? Whoever does Lies of P.
I thought you meant like the Neo, like but Neo. I don't know what they are called, but yeah,
I think they're called NeoWiz. Yeah, let them cook. FromSoft and NeoWiz. Yeah. Grounded 2. I hate bugs, so I can't play that. Do you like Grounded, Beef? I forget.
I've played it with a friend. I didn't play it for too long, so we're gonna go back now because we never played it when it. Now that's fully updated, so I don't know if I'll get to this until it releases, but I will go back to the first one.
Drag X Drive, August 14th. Obviously, we already know that's Game of the Year. Oh, actually, before we move on, Beef, what's the deal with this year's college football? Is there as much hype around it, or is it just like,
no,
it's
I
another
mean,
one?
definitely not, just because like last year was like the first one forever, and I think it's like kind of just being out in that like slow. It's like, oh, it's good, but it's gonna probably keep going down in like review scores. But I don't know. We'll have to get Bop and Fusion on it to talk sometime. They do seem actually pretty happy with some of the new changes, but for me, I might skip at least at launch. So I can't talk too much about it.
So
I played that. I played that one the last year's for a good chunk, but like I stopped within a month, so that's when I'm good.
Fair enough. Sword of the Sea, that was at the State of Play. It looks gorgeous. I'm very interested in checking that out. Dying.
Game Pass, so I'm gonna check that out.
Oh yeah, it's extra and Game Pass. One of those games.
Dying
Light the Beast. Dying Light the Beast is weird to me because they originally started as DLC, and they're like, no, actually, this is basically Dying Light 3. So why not just call it Dying Light 3? Is how I feel about this game. But yeah, I don't really have much
conversation that we've had earlier, where as soon as you get past 2, everyone wants to drop numbers and just go to subtitles.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Gears of War Reloaded should have been the trilogy. Still really stupid. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is getting its Switch 2 DLC, which I'm very excited for that DLC. I'm going to check that out. Lost Soul Aside finally coming out. I'm very curious about that one. One-man development team. Been waiting since like 2018 since this game was revealed. So I'm very interested to see how it turns out. Already talked about Shinobi. Hirogami, you played the demo for this one, Moon. I heard it wasn't that good.
I was just bored. Like it's very
Yeah.
pretty looking. There's a fun art style to it, and I do like the animation choice of since you're a piece of paper, you turn into a flat piece of paper, and that's how you ride on the wind, and that was cool. That's a cool animation. But yeah,
Mhm.
the actual gameplay of it is just smashing rocks, and that opens up paths, and that's about it. It did get a little bit better because I got apparently a lot of the combat now is you turn into a paper mache animal. So I could turn into an armadillo and basically do Sonic stuff rolling around. That
Yeah.
picked up a little bit, but still, why if that is the core of your game of transforming and doing these different animal abilities, why was so much of the demo just the man himself doing absolutely nothing? So I think
Yeah.
I'm worried about just like what is the structure of this game. But yeah, I still have very little interest in it now because of the demo, even if it did get a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the reviews will look like for something like that. That's Bandai Namco developing it in house, so it's interesting to see them do something that small. Hell is Us. I know there was a lot of interest in the previews. I'm very intrigued by this game. I think it has a cool vibe
I don't
to
know
it.
if anyone saw my mini review that I did of the demo for Hell is Us, but
Oh yeah, there was
I
a demo of
literally
that.
had to stop playing the game because I couldn't figure out what to do because the game's
Yeah, baby, you
but
got
not
me hyped.
but not for the reason you think, not just because I get lost, but because so I'm talking to this guy and he says, "Okay, what you have to do is go get the med kit from this other guy where he said it's northeast." And I'm like, "Okay." And then he said you had to go. What did he say? Oh god, I can't remember what I said now. But
Mhm.
he said some line of dialogue that pointed you in the right direction because there's no map or anything. So you have to listen to everything. But I completely forgot it. I forgot what he said, and I couldn't check the dialogue box. There was no dialogue box
Oh,
tracker or anything for me to check. And if I went to go back talk to the guy, he doesn't mention the same information. So I literally had no idea where to go because I forgot what he said. So I just stopped playing the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. No, I don't blame you. It seems like it's gonna be something for the hardcore people who are
You
interested in
can't
that.
be not paying attention during this game. You can't check your phone like I do.
No, ADHD boys are done for. Oh, that's actually bad for me because I have ADHD. Okay, well, I'm interested. I'm very interested in what they're doing there, though. I like them going for something so new. Damon X Machina, fuck you. Everybody's Golf, which that's finally coming back. I think that's just cool that that game's coming back, but I'm not a golf guy. Can't say anything. Beef, I don't know if you checked this one out. The Terminator 2D game, the No Fate,
no, I have not. I remember hearing about it. I'm kind of interested. I just
has
wonder if
really nice
it's,
pixel art.
yeah. And now that I've also looked at Shinobi again, I was like, wait a minute, why? And I like that one is actually looks cool. So I'm like, a lot of these, yeah, 2D games are gonna be competing with each other, but hopefully it's good.
Garfield Kart 2, that's going to be on the Soggy's top 5, obviously, we already know. Borderlands 4, it's coming, baby. I don't know
What
if you guys
what
have.
what's bad
Wait,
is I've been hearing people like starting to be a little more, even like people like,
listen.
no, damn, it actually seems like what fans want. So
Yeah, I'm actually
maybe we'll
really
EL
frustrated.
Woods.
I'm really frustrated at myself as a human being because now I'm like, I kind of am interested in that game now. I don't know. I know I've been hating on it a lot, but like everything I've seen, it's like, oh, I actually think they're kind of listening and doing the right things. So I don't know if it's a day one for me, but I'm intrigued. Last one's here. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. That's a Black Friday pickup right there because I am not paying 70, but it does look fun. And I also I was in that network test and it was pretty enjoyable from what I played. And then finally, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Yeah, it's fine. There, it's finally out. That Nvidia leak.
Yeah.
I think it's the second to last game. Now we're just waiting for that 9 remake.
Yeah, I've never played it, and I've always wanted to, and I've been just waiting. So, I think this is how I'm gonna play it. I'm not sure because I don't know if I like the new art styles. So I'm like,
Yeah, that was
what
about the
environment
biggest
I'm
turnoff for me.
seeing.
Is like I actually didn't like the new art style and
I
preferred
don't
the
at all
pixel.
know.
It's
Yeah,
weird too, because like there is the retro art style, but I don't think that has the new improvements. The like I think it was like the voice
I don't
acting and
think,
whatnot.
yeah, like I don't think it does have the voice. Like that's why I'm like, well, I'll wait and see. Basically,
I felt like they wanted to remaster it for the sake of remastering instead of like actually doing like a really cool art style to it. I don't hate the art style, but I'm like not like
I
immediately
just
drawn to
yeah.
this game. I have too many other games to play, especially in that window. I mean, again, I want to point something out. So that's September 30th. And like we talked a lot, there's a lot of stuff coming out end of September. And then literally 2nd of October is Ghost of Yote. So it's like we're looking at a very busy quarter coming up and just year in gaming in general. But yeah, how are you guys feeling about quarter 3? You guys, what's kind of right now like, hey, you can pick one game. What's the game you pick out of the games coming out in this quarter? Like you could play right now.
Probably just DK
Probably.
Bonanza.
Probably
Yeah, I'm
Bonanza,
right there with you.
actually, yeah.
Yeah. I
I'm
want
happy
to
for
smash
the
stuff.
yeah. The games coming to Game Pass are great for me because I like just like I don't have to think about it. I'll just have access. But yeah, like I think Bonanza is like gonna be if it hits how everyone's expecting. Like yeah, it's just gonna be like a 3D Mario basically. So yeah, I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
it's weird because that's like Metal Gear Solid was like my most anticipated for the entire year. But then after watching the Bonanza Direct, I'm like, I actually want to play that more right now. I'm so extremely excited for Metal Gear, but I'm like, just give me Bonanza, dude.
It's hard being a Nintendo fan because it's like I want to sometimes pull back, but then I'm like, shit, they know how to get me.
Yeah, it's rough. It is interesting also mapping out the rest of the year for Nintendo because like there's that rumor, well, not rumor, but like we're a lot of people are speculating since Drag X Drive is September or no August, and then October is Pokemon. A lot of people are saying Metro Prime is probably going to hit September. You guys think
I
that's
could see
a
it.
possibility?
Yeah,
It's
I could see
possible,
it.
but I
Yeah.
think if it was, we would have heard it by now.
I don't
Yeah.
know what to think now that there's like no direct, and then it's like we just got
Yeah.
Splatoon and which I don't think is this year, but Splatoon and Drag. They really are just using the app. That's
It's
insane
so
to
funny.
me. So
I think directs are still going to be a thing, but I think they're like
oh no,
using the
yeah,
app as a yeah. No one really was excited for the Drag X Drive release date. We could just throw this in the app.
I know.
And then just one more thing I want to bring up. There is a game that has a very high possibility of coming out in Q3, and that's Hollow Knight Silk Song. I'm kind of tired of speculating for this game, but any thoughts? Like, you guys think it comes out the corner? And if so, when?
I mean, it can just. I mean, at least with this speculation, it has some merit to it because of the whole it's going to be at this convention thing, playable at this convention. So what's either going to happen is it's going to come out and there's going to be like no reason for anyone to go play it at the convention because the game's already out, or it's going to come at this convention and it's going to get swarmed by people wanting to play it. So it's like like you almost think they would want to avoid that. It's like, okay, well, at least we're planning on releasing it before this convention.
And that convention always does released games specifically, so that's why people think it's going to come out before. I think the convention's September, so at least before September.
If it comes out in October, I don't know what I'm gonna do because October's already like a wild month, so it better come out this quarter.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get to it whenever it
Me
comes out.
neither.
I'm actually kind of hoping it's July because like I feel like it's like something that I could kind of play alongside Donkey Kong and Tony Hawk. Like it's a weird thing, but like there's something about Tony Hawk and Donkey Kong that just scream like, oh, I can play this alongside something.
Yeah, I get it. Very
Yeah.
level based. Yeah.
Quarter 3 is looking very strong. Very excited for a lot of the games
I'll just shout out this one game that's not on the list because I played the
There you go.
demo for it and I enjoyed it. It's called Fresh Tracks, and
Uh-huh.
it was during one of the indie presentations and has a demo out on Steam right now, and I quite enjoyed it. It's a roguelike rhythm game, and
Oh, I think I heard about this one.
it's all like Nordic music, like Nordic rock.
Never mind.
So I found it really interesting. And so basically what you're doing is you're on this forever ski. You're skiing down a slope and you're slashing trees and other things to the beat. And as you do each song, you gain upgrades of like either better timing or these other things, or better, or what I always went for was better health, more health. And uh, and the demo goes up to the first boss, which the boss is like the best part of the whole demo. So I say recommend at least play the demo all the way to the boss. It has like the best music, has like all the best choreography because now you have like minions shooting arrows at you. They're coming at you swords, so you're slicing them as well to the song. And I don't know, I just had a good time with it, and I like the music to it too. So like I'm probably gonna check this out. And I don't think it's gonna be too expensive. It's an indie game, so it's probably gonna be like $20 at most.
Yeah, this looks really cool. I'm into this. It's August 12th.
Yeah, it's like right in between Mafia and Sword of the Sea.
Yeah, this seems like a game you could just play like on the side.
Yeah, you just play a couple songs, but go a couple rounds.
Yeah,
Do
looks
one
really
run.
cool.
It's always that thing, just one more run.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that to my wish list. That looks very interesting. All right, well, that's everything. Q3, we're gonna be back for Q4 in end of September. It looks like, which, I mean, God, right now Q4 already looks pretty crazy with like Ghost and Outer Worlds 2, and probably
That's
a
the thing is
couple
that we
more.
have nothing for November and December, and we're already calling quarter four. It's insane.
Yeah, mostly because of
I keep
October.
I keep forgetting Pokemon. And it's like I want that too because I like
Yeah,
Legends. So I'm like, it's big games too. That's the issue.
Black Ops 7, baby.
Yeah.
God. All right, let's get into what we've been playing. Beef, just real quick. You said you beat Pirate Yakuza. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's messed up because it's like I've described it when I was playing as like it's almost junk food because it is
Mhm.
so much like not even like normal copy and paste like Yakuza games can be, but it's very much like it's like so exactly the same. So it's like then I'm like, why am I keep wanting to do like the same side quest games? It's like yeah, because it is fun. So I mean, and the main thing is like the new editions like getting to like control your crew, like make a crew, go pirate adventuring both on islands or just like sea combat. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one I'm like, no, you don't need to play it. At least, not yet. I'd wait for a deep sale, but it's definitely like still fun to play, like especially if you like playing like Yakuza games, like all of it, the side quests and stuff. So yeah, I I feel bad. I'm like can't believe they keep doing this to me, but yeah, I liked it, and now I'm officially caught up to the franchise. So now I'm
God,
gonna
there's so
have,
many.
which is insane to think about. Although I have to play Judgment, but yeah, I'd recommend anyone who's like curious, which I feel like anyone like Yakuza's been curious, definitely play it when you get the chance.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool. I think there's just too many Yakuza games for me to want to jump into it, but I
Exactly.
know Yakuza fans have been very well fed. And yeah, there's that new one. God, it's not a Yakuza game. God, what was it called?
Oh,
Century.
it
It
was
was Project
Project
Century.
Century, and now it's Stranger
Stranger
by
Than Heaven.
Heaven. Stranger Than Heaven. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Then, I mean, are you interested in that one? Because that looks really cool
I
to
am.
me.
Yeah, that one looks cool. So I am interested in that. I'm interested to see what makes it unique. Because
Hmm.
like the second trailer made it look a lot like it's like yeah, it seems like yeah, it does like take place over a long period of time. So I'm interested in that.
Moon, you've been playing Persona 5 The Phantom X. This was the mobile Persona 5 game. Finally came over to the West. It was originally in China, correct?
Yeah, it was like Chinese only.
Yeah, you're a big Persona 5 fan, so I'm very curious to hear about that. I want to check it out, but it's like, it's PC only and it's 70 gigs. It's like, I can't really warrant it, but
Yeah,
I'm curious if it's worth it.
Yeah, PC and mobile.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and it definitely has that mobile staying to it with like the UI because like I'm so used to playing with the controller like Persona 5, and so I'm hitting, like triangle or Y for Persona effects and whatnot. But it's like, no, they all have like these different, it's like a different way of hitting the menu button, which just throws me off in combat.
Mhm.
But besides that, I'm still very early in it. Like I'm sure I'm only like 2 hours into it, but it's so far I haven't been hit with all the whatever it is that makes it a mobile game, like a mobile gotcha game, which I'm looking into it, and but it seems to be all metaverse stuff. So so instead of like in Persona 5, you go down into mementos and you're doing all these quests and whatnot as side quests. Now imagine all those side quests are limited time events because it's a mobile game. That's pretty much what it is so
Hmm.
far. But what I'm also looking at, just like Genshin and all the other gotcha games, is you're pulling for other characters. And there's like all these other characters that they call phantom idols that you can pull for and you can have on your team when you pull them. Whereas they're so far they seem to be characters in the story, but they're not characters you're directly interacting with. They're not like joining your party and becoming a part of the story like of the regular Persona 5 game. They're just other characters. Now I could be completely wrong, but that's what I have noticed so far. Like I've met some of these characters, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be active characters in the story in the sense of like all the other your team members from Persona 5 join your friend group. Basically, they're just characters, and they even outright tell you it's characters you met, you make a connection with, because it's all about connections in the game. So I'm curious to see where this comes in, because it almost feels like you have these other characters who feel like regular Persona characters that you're going to become friends with and you're going to go on all these missions with. But I don't know. I don't know if it's like a weird mix or what. So I got to get a couple more hours into the story. It's just really interesting to see. It's I don't know if this is supposed to be running alongside Persona 5 or it's a different universe or timeline or something, because Joker and the gang's already running around.
Yeah, that's
But
weird. I noticed that where it's just like he has the official name. What was it? Ren Amiyama.
yeah,
Yes.
This is very funny.
but there's also a lot of parallels already to it. Although I will say it is the first mission or so far of the story that we're tackling is just a guy, Persona 5 starts really strong with a teacher who is abusing his students, whereas the first menace in Persona 5 X is a guy who is shoving people in the subway.
What an asshole, man. We gotta get his ass.
Now, granted, he did make what I just hit in the story is a big one where he actually shoved a woman onto the train tracks. Okay, now that's a problem. But this is the first time he's done something like that. Everything else we saw of him, he was just kind of just bumping into other people.
He gets a palace for that.
Yeah, he's got his own little palace for this.
I remember, dude, in Persona 5, they're like, oh, palaces only happen if you're like really bad or like you have a very big, like, what was it, like ego or specific thing. But like this guy shoving people off it's like, that's not Memento's bait. It's just like, no, he gets a whole ass palace. Okay.
Yeah, so, and I see people mocking it, so maybe it is just kind of a dumb thing and maybe it gets better later on, but it is funny that's just our first thing. And it's, typical JRPG fashion, your first boss is kind of the smallest of the group, so they're just going to get more assholey as we go on, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably.
It's like, no, our first one he's literally called the Subway Slammer is what they're calling him.
The Subway Slammer, baby.
Like, now it is bad though, because I don't know what, but the main character gets like future visions every once in a while, and he did see a future where he did shove a mom and a baby in a carriage down a flight of stairs. So I'm like, okay, now this is actually bad. This guy feels absolutely no remorse. But when he also like football tackles your friend and throws her onto the train tracks, I'm like, okay, this guy is doing more than just shoving. But yeah, I'm curious to see like how far can you get into. I'm curious if like the story mode and the Memento stuff is like separate to where you can do all the story mode stuff without really spending anything. It's all the Memento stuff and grinding that you have to do and maybe spend money on. I need to watch those videos. They've all flooded my feed now ever since I watched one trailer. It's like, do all these things in Persona 5X. Here's all the rookie mistakes you need to avoid. Like, I need to watch a couple of them. Because the game just litters you with all this currency that I have no idea what to do with.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting to see kind of them like basically adapt the formula of Persona 5 into kind of a bite-sized mobile experience. It always sounded weird to me, but it seems like it's pretty fun at the very least. Like, is the combat like an enjoyable time?
Yeah, I mean, the combat's still there. It's still good. It's based on Persona 5 because it does have like the baton pass function and whatnot. They call it something different. I can't remember what they call it now, but it's just basically baton pass, and it has all the all out attacks, and it has a different version of what the Showtime attacks were. I forget what they call it now, but it's a different version where they're solo instead of duos. So everyone has like this big flashy cinematic move that they can do.
Legally distinct showtimes.
Legally distinct, yeah. Even though it's the same company, same franchise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to get more into it, and it just feels like a game that I don't know.
It
How
just
long
came out.
It just came out, so I got to know like how long actually is the story mode? How much do you actually need to invest in this thing? Because I never looked into any of that, so it's all I'm just taking it as is.
Beef, you're a big Persona guy. Are you interested in this at all?
Yeah, I'm interested. It's really 70 gigs on PC.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's insane. I had
Persona
to look that
5
up.
is 40.
That's ridiculous. I was like, "There's no way that's right." But yeah, I'm interested. I'll go.
I just real quick. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna be like, I'm interested, but I've played so many like gotchas. I don't know what it is that eventually they just turn me off, no matter how much
Same.
people like hype them up. So I downloaded it, but no, I did not get to play it yet. So we'll see. I just don't have time to play mobile games. Like I guess most people, I don't have like if I only had lived on like long train, like a place where I took long train rides, I would play it more. But no, but I'll check it out soon.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
my
just playing it for the story because it's just more
yeah.
Persona 5 story.
Yeah, that's my thing with like gotcha games beef is like I got into Zenless Zone Zero for a bit, but like that's the one I really got into. My thing with gotcha games, it's not even really the gotcha part, which I think is kind of scummy. I always hated that. But like I always find a good team eventually, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can run with these guys. I
Yeah,
just
that
hate
too.
the daily design. Like, oh, you gotta check in. And it's like I really hate when a game acts like I'm beholden to it. So it's like that type of design language is just really frustrating to me. Otherwise, I don't really think of them as lesser games. I think they're pretty good in a lot of the cases. And especially with certain ones like the MiHoYo games, like there is a lot of production value put into them and a lot of budget, you could tell at certain points. It's just like frustrating when you see, damn, I wish you guys just did like a single player, like let me spend $70 on this and I don't have to deal with the check in every single day, roll for this character. It's like, no, you just play the game and it's fun.
And so that's what I'm hoping with Phantom X, is it almost seems like it is. It is that where you do have the single player story. I'm waiting to see where is this road barrier of me just playing the story and nothing else, and where does it cut me off. But so far I haven't. Like I said, I've gone 2 hours and I haven't had to do anything except just play this game like it's another Persona game.
Well, we will see how you feel later on in the coming weeks. Very exciting. Looks like a ton
And
of fun, and I always like new
I guess
Persona
I could
stuff.
briefly talk about Date Everything.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. How was that?
So I've mixed feelings on it because maybe it's because my visual novel experience is very low, even though some people like to think I'm like the expert, but no, I've played Danganronpa and that's about it. But I do like it a lot. I do like the interconnecting story. I do like that there's a lot of replay value in the fact of you can go at different angles to different characters, and they've just recorded so much story and dialogue and recorded dialogue at that, that you can do multiple playthroughs in that regard. But this game seems to have an end game problem where I've already either friended or loved all the characters that I really care about. And
Mhm.
but the problem is, so little minor spoiler here for it. I don't know if anyone cares. But there comes a point in the story where it becomes known to you that the real goal of those glasses that you're given so you can see everybody is to actually realize them and make them fully human characters. And to do that, you have to acquire so many what they call specs points, which is just basically like persona stats. And you get those stats when you finish a character's story, because every character, all 100 characters in the game, have a story that you have to go through. And when you finish a character story, you get points. And then it's random. It's not random. Every character has a set what points they give you, so it's all listed on like the
Yeah.
wiki points you want to get. But to realize a character, you have to reach so many certain points in each category. So that means what you have to do to realize more characters, like there's like 5 characters I really like, and I'm like, cool, I want to realize and make these 5 human because they're like my favorites. But I don't
Mhm.
have enough points to do that, so I have to go and do all the other characters' stories to get those points so I can do that. So it's like you can't just play the game and romance the 2 or 3 characters you really want to do. No, you have to do everybody. You actually literally have to date everything to get enough points so you can do that. Because the end goal of the game, I'm assuming, is to realize every single 100 character, which
Mhm.
it's going to take a while to do all that. And even harder because some characters just end up hating you because you picked a couple choices, and they won't talk to you again afterwards. Like if you make them hate you, that's it. Their character's locked out. So
Why
it's
the
almost
fuck is the chair being an asshole to me?
I made the stairs hate me, so now I'm scared for my life. um so yeah, it almost makes you want to redo the game when someone hates you, because like now you can't 100% it, because 100%ing the game is getting all 100 characters. Well, technically 102. I got the 2 DLC characters. So yeah, now I'm just kind of just like I went through all the stories of the characters I really liked, and now I'm just kind of just meandering and going through everyone else's story just so I can
Mhm.
get their specs points. So I'm curious if I'm just missing something or if something's coming down the line that really makes it more invigorating. So I'm just not going through the motions of, okay, what character haven't I finished their story yet? And what's even worse is like this grind. I guess like that's what we need to call it, is a grind, because there's one character I still haven't talked to for the first time, and she only comes out when you've realized 10 characters. So that's a definitely far off thing because I've only realized one character so far. So this is going to take a long time. But the writing is
Yeah.
great, the performances are great.
It's a grind game. It sounds like just something you go back to every now and then.
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting that, and now I'm just like, oh, this game's gonna take me forever to do.
It's like, I don't want to fucking romance the toaster. I don't care about this guy. Is there a toaster? No, I gotta know.
There's a toaster, voiced by
yeah.
legendary voice actress Christina V, who does everything.
Oh, Christina V, what the fuck? Why's she a toaster? That's funny.
Because I guess because she's a Hispanic lady toaster who I guess Christina just wanted to use her Spanish accent. Because
Yeah, I
boy, is
respect
that accent is thick.
Fun concept. Seems like people are into it. So yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's
interested
fun
to hear
concept, but
updates.
it seems like it's just a grind.
Yeah, interested to hear your updates on it because it sounds pretty. It sounds like it's like, yeah, this is a cool idea, but like you guys could have calmed down with the everything part.
Everything, or at least have like other goals that you could possibly end on instead of 100%ing it.
Should have been called Date Some Things.
Date your couch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it for this episode. Very fun podcast. Appreciate you two joining me. If you guys want to find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, like us on every platform if you can, and follow us on Blue Sky and Twitter at A Slice of Gaming. Got some fun stuff planned for the future. But yeah, I think with that, we're heading out. Say goodnight, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Make sure to date everything.